The Russian soldier was sitting and moving sadly towards the FPV drone. In recent weeks, the Lyubart Brigade has become renowned for its successful use of unmanned aerial vehicles. The footage shows that the Russian forces had no indication of... Welcome to the New Scope channel. In the rural sector of Novospaska, one of the hottest points on the Donetsk front line, Ukraine's newly established special unit, the 20th Operational Task Brigade, Lyubart, is making headlines with impressive accomplishments that may shift the momentum of the battlefield. Originally formed in 2024 as a special purpose unit within the Azov Brigade, Lyubart officially became an independent brigade under the National Guard of Ukraine in April 2025. In recent weeks, the Lyubart Brigade has become renowned for its successful use of unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, particularly FPV, first-person view, drones in striking Russian positions with pinpoint precision. These advanced systems, operated by highly trained personnel, have played a critical role in fortifying Ukrainian defensive lines and disrupting Russian troop movements in the area. During one of its latest operations, Lyubart's drone team successfully identified and neutralized Russian forward observation posts, trench systems, and armored vehicles transporting ammunition. Using real-time video reconnaissance combined with rapid data analysis, the unit was able to carry out surgical strikes with minimal collateral damage, achieving maximum impact with minimal resources. Local sources and frontline observers report that Lyubart's drones are not limited to offensive actions. They are also instrumental in search and rescue missions, mine detection, and nocturnal operations. Equipped with thermal imaging and infrared capabilities, these FPV drones provide unmatched nighttime visibility, allowing operators to track and engage enemy movements even in complete darkness. Military analysts emphasize that Lyubart's integration of drone technology and tactical agility marks a significant evolution in modern warfare. The brigade's disciplined structure, constantly updated training programs, and robust technological infrastructure, supported both domestically and internationally, form the backbone of its operational excellence. The Lyubart Brigade's actions in Novospask demonstrate not only localized tactical success, but also Ukraine's broader transition toward a hybrid warfare doctrine. Their operations not only halt Russian advances, but also deliver a psychological blow, showcasing superior agility and strategic innovation. With each mission, the 20th Lyubart Brigade continues to cement its place as not just a military asset, but a symbol of Ukraine's evolving battlefield intelligence. If this trend continues, Lyubart could soon join the ranks of Ukraine's most legendary fighting units, defined not only by courage, but by unmatched precision and foresight in the modern era of war. Footage captured by a drone operated by Ukraine's 14th Mechanized Brigade reveals a high-precision HIMARS strike on a Russian military training ground in Russia's Belgorod region. The video clearly shows a group of newly mobilized Russian troops conducting training exercise adjacent to a wooded area. The soldiers, accompanied by infantry fighting vehicles, were practicing tactical deployment maneuvers, completely unaware that a Ukrainian drone was monitoring their movements from a high altitude. The footage shows that the Russian forces had no indication of the looming danger as they continued their drills. Moments later, a HIMARS missile system launched cluster munitions at the training site, which was densely populated with personnel. The strike caused a series of powerful explosions, all captured on camera. No official casualty figures have been released following the incident. This operation further underscores that Ukrainian intelligence is monitoring Russian military preparations near the border in real time. Analysts suggest that the Ukrainian armed forces have become significantly more adept at integrating real-time intelligence into high-impact precision strikes, reflecting a growing technological and strategic sophistication. Military experts argue that such attacks are aimed at undermining Russian morale and asserting psychological and operational superiority. Targeting fresh recruits before they even reach the front lines may significantly impact troop confidence. Moreover, this incident sends a clear message that training facilities in border regions like Belgorod are no longer safe. This development illustrates Ukraine's increasing capacity to combine intelligence, reconnaissance, and long-range strike capabilities. It also signals a shift in the nature of warfare on the Eastern Front, where asymmetric and surprise attacks are likely to play a growing role in shaping the course of the conflict. The Russian soldier was sitting and moving sadly towards the FPV drone. In the presented video frames, we can see images from a Ukrainian FPV drone flying in the direction of a Russian soldier. When the drone approaches, we can see that this soldier looks more like an immigrant from the Middle East, sitting with only his hands held and looking very sad. This probably affected him and made him think. FPV drones are used effectively against Russian soldiers, especially by Ukrainian forces. These drones are devices that are controlled by remote control and usually carry explosives. There have been reports of cases on the battlefield where Russian soldiers are helpless against these drones and sometimes prefer to surrender. This video describes an incident where a Russian soldier became the target of an FPV drone and tried to hide. FPV drones have not only physical, but also psychological effects. According to a report by The Times, the commander of Ukraine's 414th UAV Brigade, Robert Madyar Brovdy, aims to put psychological pressure on Russian soldiers by sharing videos of drone attacks on social media. In some videos, Russian soldiers are seen to be helpless against FPV drones and prefer to surrender. For example, a YouTube video shows a Russian soldier lying down and waiting as an FPV drone approaches. This information provides an important perspective for understanding the effects of FPV drones on the battlefield and the situation of Russian soldiers in the face of this threat. In late May 2025, Ukraine's 31st Mechanized Brigade successfully repelled a series of determined Russian assaults near the village of Rivnopil, located in the western part of the Donetsk region. The fighting, which took place between May 23rd and May 24th, unfolded along the Staromayorska Rivnopil Zelene pole axis, an area that has become one of the focal points of the Russian Federation's renewed offensive operations in eastern Ukraine. The Ukrainian armed forces released drone footage, both reconnaissance and FPV, first-person view, capturing the scale of the Russian assault and the effectiveness of Ukraine's defensive response. The combat videos show multiple Russian armored vehicles, including BMP infantry fighting vehicles and tanks, advancing toward Ukrainian positions through open terrain. These movements were met with coordinated artillery strikes, anti-tank guided missiles, and kamikaze drones that devastated the attacking columns. According to Ukrainian military sources and open-source analysts, the Russian assault was part of a broader effort to regain momentum in the Donetsk region, where their forces have been struggling to break through layered Ukrainian defenses. The attack near Rivnopil was executed by elements of newly rotated Russian assault units, likely reinforced by Storm Z penal detachments and regular motorized infantry brigades. Despite their numerical advantage, the Russian forces were met with a highly disciplined and technologically agile Ukrainian defense. One of the defining features of this engagement was the heavy reliance on drone warfare. The 31st Mechanized Brigade used FPV drones extensively not only to track Russian movements, but also to directly engage enemy vehicles and personnel. The footage, shared widely across social media and pro-Ukrainian military platforms, shows Russian troops caught in the open, attempting to flee burning armored vehicles and seeking shelter under withering Ukrainian fire. The fighting was especially fierce on May 24th, when Russian forces launched a second wave of attacks following heavy losses on the first day.